Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 355 of Screw the Commute podcast. Every once in a while I get questions piling up, and this is going to be one of those times where I'm going to answer a bunch of questions, so it's called Ask Tom a Question. All right, hope you didn't miss episode 354. That was on VIP days, where you can add a premium day or weekend to your schedule. People will pay a lot of extra money for personal attention. So that's what episode 354 was about. Now, make sure you pick up a copy of our automation ebook. We sell it for $27, but it's yours free for listening to the show. It saved me millions of keystrokes. It automates my business. It makes me respond lightning fast, which means I can grab customers from other people that were too slow to get back to them, things like that. So grab that at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Screwthecommute.com/automate free. While you're at it, pick up a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP, where you can put us on your cell phone and tablet and take us with you on the road. All right, many of you know I have the only licensed, dedicated internet marketing school in the country, probably the world. It's licensed to operate by SHEV, the State Council on Higher Education in Virginia, but you don't have to live in Virginia to take advantage of it. It's distance learning. It's so powerful because instead of spending 4 years or 2 years or 3 years getting an MBA or whatever you're trying to do in business and running up big debt and then competing for jobs at Starbucks, you could be making money in a month after starting the school. And we even have an elective to show you how to do it. All right. These are hardcore skills that every business on earth needs with regard to internet marketing and digital marketing. So check that out at imtcva.org. It's one of the best things you could ever give as a legacy gift for your children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces. I mean, it's just so powerful. We've got one girl, her dad spent $80,000 on her education and she was working a crappy job. He gifted a scholarship to the school to her. She's making $6,000 a month on the side. Hasn't even graduated yet. So that's the kind of power we're talking about here, no BS. And it's perfect. You can not only learn remotely, but you can legitimately work remotely. It's not one of those crazy get rich quick from home schemes that used to be big in the old days. This is real nowadays. So, and in fact, companies are liking it because they don't want to pay $24 to $80 a square foot to have you sitting there writing a blog post that you could have written at home. All right. So really powerful. Check it out. And also a little later, I'll tell you how you can get a scholarship if you're in my mentor program. All right. So let's get to the main event. So these are a bunch I think I got about a dozen questions here that people ask me all the time. All right. First one is, what format is best for an ebook? Well, first of all, let me tell you the formats that I wouldn't bother with, and then I'll tell you the formats that I like and why. I wouldn't bother with any of the weird ones from Apple or anything. They're just not worth the trouble. I wouldn't bother with Nook from Barnes & Noble. That's their competitor to Kindle. I mean, competitor, not even close to being a competitor. It's just garbage. It's a waste of time. Then the ones that I love are PDF, simple PDF files, and Kindle ebooks. Now, PDF files, you can get more money for them. It costs you nothing to create them. Same with Kindle, it costs you virtually nothing to create these. If maybe you get an ebook cover designed from Fiverr or something. But these are the best. And the reason I say don't bother with Nook or any of the other ones is that Kindle, Amazon Kindle is the big kahuna. They have virtually all the market share, and they have a deal where they'll give your book away for 5 days every 90, as long as you're not selling them anywhere else. Well, this is extreme power. And you say, well, why, what good is that? How am I going to make money that way? Well, you should understand that your book should always lead to something else that makes you way more money. For instance, my ebook on shopping carts, where they gave away 2,500 copies in 5 days. All right, I couldn't give that many away in 5 days. And each book, if you do what the book says, you have to buy the tool in the book. I make $600 per year on it. See? So that deal is not available. Do you think I want to mess that deal up to go and get one sale a millennium from Nook, from Barnes and Noble? No. So PDF and Kindle are the ones that are the best, from my not so humble opinion. All right, next question. Where can I find the cheapest hosting? Well, I don't like that question at all, because hosting is one of the things that you shouldn't mess with and go for the cheapest. It's your website out there. If it doesn't load fast, if it doesn't have high degree of uptime, which means it's not, something's not wrong with the host and it makes it go down, you're screwing yourself with Google because, hey, I got that screw word in there. To screw the commute, right? Because they demand that your website loads lightning fast if they're going to give you a high rating, things like that. So hosting is not where you cheap out. And GoDaddy has a bad reputation for hosting, and a lot of the places do. Now, GoDaddy's fine to buy your domain name, but not hosting. Hosting, see, what happens is a lot of these companies that advertise really big on TV, they know you don't know any better. So they're going after people that don't know any better. So they give you some cheap deal for hosting, but they just keep loading thousands potentially or more people on one computer, one box, knowing that you don't know any better. You don't even know how to check your speed of your website or any of that. So they can give you this cheap hosting and get your money every month, but you get pretty much no service, and they don't have any great investment in technology to make sure your site loads fast. So that's what you get, and that's called shared hosting, by the way. So if you upgrade, you can go to VPN, you can go to a dedicated server, those kinds of things, and pay more to get better service. But you still better know how to check the speed of your website and that. Now, the best one that we have found in a long time is a place called Liquid Web. They just came on the scene very recently, but they claim that they will answer your tech call within 60 seconds and then put you on hold for 3 hours. No, I don't know. but they're everything has been good about them recently. Now, this goes up and down like a porpoise, because as soon as I tell people, and other guys like me or women like me tell people a hosting service is good, people flood it, and then they get flooded and it slows down, right, until they catch up. But anyway, Liquid Web, I have an affiliate link for it. You can get it in the thing. But don't go for the cheapest hosting. This is not the place where you cheap out. All right. Where's the best place to find someone to do my complete e-commerce system? I laugh because I've heard this so many times from people that, this is the unicorn type of person they're looking for. They want somebody to do all the work for their business and make sure that it's really cheap. This is just, listen to me, folks out there. If you try to find somebody like that, you're just stupid. You're just stupid. Well, I'll say ignorant in a nice way. Ignorant just means unknowing. No, if somebody was that good to put together a massive system like that, why would they be working for you? All right, for cheap anyway. I don't even do it, and I get, with the commissions and everything, $58,000 from a person over time out of their profits. Of course, I don't get that up front, so I have to really help them to get that money. But that wouldn't even, if you ask me to do what I just said on this question, build your complete e-commerce system, I would say, okay, give me $100,000 retainer. I don't know, $5,000 a month. And you'd say, screw you, Tom. I'm not doing that. Well, you're right. So if you go looking for somebody that's capable of doing what you just asked, build my complete and run my complete e-commerce system. Well, if they could do that, what would they need you for? Why would they possibly even need you? Right? So it's just stupid. It's looking for a unicorn. You need to learn stuff yourself or bring people in-house and have them working only for you. You try to get a freelancer to do this, you are just, like I said, it's just ignorant to think that that can happen. I have been asked this hundreds of times, mostly by people that think they're too good to do it themselves. No, I should be, and they're taught by these idiot people on stage that say, oh, you should just delegate everything. Yeah, and they're probably broke. You can't make their car payment, so it's just stupid. You delegate yourself into the poorhouse. If you're flush with cash, got millions in the bank, and go ahead, hire people to do this all for you and stick your head in the sand. Guess what? You won't have millions in the bank after a little while because they will take advantage of you. You don't know any better. They will take 10 times as long to do something because they know you don't know what's going on. So that's just a stupid attitude, just stupid to try to run a business like that and just throw it all to somebody else. All right. So no, I hate that question. I get it all the time. And I just, I almost hate, I try to be nice to people and educate them. But people want something for nothing. They want to sit there, get all the benefits of the internet and know nothing about it and want somebody else to do it for them for nothing. That's just stupid, just ridiculous. It's no wonder they're losers. All right. So that's my little high horse there. All right. Is WordPress still the best website builder? Well, yes, it is. It's the gold standard. Again, these ads you see on TV for Wix and whatever other crazy thing they got on there are just designed because they know the person watching that buys it doesn't know any better. WordPress is the gold standard. Does it mean it's the best on earth? No, it just means it's the gold standard because it won the marketing war. There's hundreds of millions of installations. There's tens of thousands of people developing plugins for it. It'll do everything you can think of and wash your dishes and I don't know what else, go pick your mail up for you. It's the winner. So and you can go down, like I always say, to preschool and wake some kid up from his nap to get him to help you. So WordPress, yes, is still the website builder. Now we have a thing called Thrive Themes, which is one of the best, most professional, yet still pretty darn cheap website builders on top of WordPress. And it has all these extra features. We'll have my affiliate link in the show notes for it. And if you do buy it, it's like $20 a month. I'll have my guys teach you how to use it. That's a good bonus for you there. So, but we've got 80-year-old people using it to create their websites. So WordPress is the engine, and the themes and the Thrive Architect is the how to make it look nice, how to put stuff on there yourself for free, all that stuff. And like I said, if you get it, we will tutor you on how to use it. Okay, what's the fastest way to bring in money online? This will surprise some of you, but I still, to this day, if somebody comes to me and desperate to make money right away online, I send them to eBay. eBay, literally, you could have money coming in tomorrow, all right, with no website, no nothing, and you can clean your basement out at the same time. Let me tell you a couple stories about this eBay. The people get a kick out of these when I do a lot of interviews on podcasts and stuff. So the first one's not all that funny, but there's a really good trick in here that I'll tell you about. So I had a friend in California, single mom, and she would take $80 to $100 every Saturday morning and go to yard sales. And then she would take her cell phone with her And let's say she would see like a Tonka truck. Okay, the Tonka is a metal truck, very well-known brand. Let's say it's selling for $5. Well, she goes over on her cell phone, and when you go to eBay, next to the search box, there's a little link that says advanced search. You click that, and then you check a little box that says completed listings only. So it brings up all the Tonka trucks that were listed on eBay in the past 90 days and whether they sold or not and how much they sold for. All right. So all she does is she says, okay, they want $5 for it. It's selling for $55 on eBay. She'll buy it. If it was listed for $50 at the yard sale and it's only selling for $5 on eBay, she wouldn't buy it. It's just a very simple thing, okay? In fact, one of the kids that works for me found an ashtray that for 50 cents, sold it for $100. It was some collector's item I didn't know about, all right? So you can find those once in a while, but the method she uses is pretty much foolproof, and she was clearing about $1,000 to $1,100 a week to support her and her kids. All right, so that's the first little story of the power of eBay. Another story is that, so when I got started, see, eBay has a bunch of people all over the world that list themselves and willing to come or tutor you on how to do eBay. So I got this guy locally, he was an ex-Marine, and I wanted to check him out. So he brought his stack of orders from that month, and it was $20,000. All right, $20,000 the past month. And he was selling used cell phones and doll heads. So I said, well, used cell phones, what's that all about? Well, he would go to the pawn shops and he asked them what stuff they couldn't get rid of easily because they can't keep track of what service it's on and what charger goes with it and everything. So he says, I'll give you $10 a piece and come around once a month and pick them all up. They said, sold. So he was selling it, just putting it all together and selling them for $100 to $110 each. I saw the sales and he brought all these sales for the month. And then the doll heads thing, he was making, he had a mold that he'd put 10 cents worth, I guess 40 cents. It would hold 4 doll heads. He'd put 10 cents of rubber each or whatever the compound is. And each doll head sold for $10 and people would buy 4 or 5 at a time. I saw this with my own eyes, all right? Big burly Marine and he's selling doll heads, all right? So there's all kinds of opportunities on eBay, but the last thing I want to tell you about is I grew up very frugal. So I use the buying apps like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, but OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace are local. So I can go run over and buy something and get a good deal and bring it right home. So I buy this tool from this guy. I go to his house. He's got this $500,000 motor home out there. Beautiful, beautiful home. And he comes to the door dressed beautifully and he invites me into his shop where I can buy this tool. All right. So we're going through and we go down his basement. And now, folks, everything to this point is normal. So I'm going through the basement down this hallway into his shop, and I look over to my right, and the rest of the basement besides his shop, there's hundreds, I'm saying hundreds of ladies' brassieres hanging from the ceiling. I'm thinking, oh my God, he kills women that come over and I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is bad. So I'm very careful. I buy my tool and he's very personable. We're talking about how our dads taught us the tools and stuff. And so we're going out and I said, I got to ask you, man, what's up with all these bras? And he lit up. He says, oh, my daughter sells them, all these used bras. He says she goes to the thrift store and they all know her and she knows the sizes that are hard to get and she cleans them up and sells them on eBay. And then he said, and she pulled in $200,000 last year selling used bras on eBay that she might have got each one for 50 cents or something at the thrift store. And he said, yeah, she's found a whole bunch of more thrift stores, so she's probably going to do 400,000 next year. Used bras. All right. So if you want to make money fast and you have a bunch of extra bras, go ahead, give them a sell. And I was thinking, well, maybe I should get some for me, So that's my answer. The fastest way to bring in money online. Okay, next question. I'm getting flooded with emails trying to get me to buy different funnel builders. Which is best? Okay, this term funnel has been just bandied around for years and years and years. And I'll be honest with you, I have nothing going but the simplest funnels. When you talk about a funnel, it's nothing more than somebody gives you their email or buys something from you, you follow up. And if they do, if they don't do this, you send them this place. And if they do what you want, you send them this other place. That's kind of what's going on with funnels. But I've never had an intricate one. In fact, I sat through a thing with another marketer one time. It was 3 hours with this big whiteboard showing all these. It looked like one of those corn mazes where you get lost Halloween and scary. And I'm saying, nobody's going to go through all that crap. He says, oh, yeah, this is really good. And I'm saying, you're out of your mind, man. Yeah, so the funnel thing has been, really hit hard. And somebody's charging $300 or $400 a month for some funnel builder or something, so that's just ridiculous. There isn't any best one. There are, if you get one really cheap, great. If not, you don't really need it to do this. You create an email, you send it out to people, and then they're supposed to go do something. And then you follow up with another email, and you can put some special things in. If they click, then they go one place. If they don't click, then they go to another place. So just don't get wrapped up in these expensive funnel builders, because I got to be honest with you, folks, most of the people that come to me aren't, even when they have an established online business, aren't even doing the basics right. And now you want to have some outrageous, crazy looking funnel that it's just ridiculous. So I don't mind if you buy a cheap one and try it out and play with it, but don't be getting into a big monthly fee for a funnel builder. That's for sure. Okay, next is, should I buy a Mac or PC? Boy, there's the age-old thing. Well, first of all, I've been mostly PC my entire career online, or even long before online. I had computers, but they're mostly PC. Well, I did try a Mac one time, but didn't have any luck with it. This was way back in the early days. Now, you can get more computer for your money with a PC. I'm pretty much sure of that. However, that doesn't mean it's the best for what you're doing. And a lot of you know the story of this podcast where I bought a Windows 10 laptop thinking, okay, I'll learn Windows 10 and then I'll be in good shape, learn a Windows 10, and then I'll use that computer to run this podcast. I ended up going to get an iMac after spending hundreds of dollars with tech people trying to get it to work. I got a pretty good setup here with my podcast. Now, if you're just recording yourself with some software directly to a PC, that's great. But when you jump up to doing interviews like I do frequently, then it gets crazy. I just spent a fortune on this. And so when I went to buy the Mac, I asked them, if I was going to shoot a Windows 10 laptop, should I use a shotgun or a pistol? Most people said both. So if you just want, really raw power and you push computers really hard, you can get more bang for your buck from a PC. It's much cheaper. But if you're doing something critical or heavy duty video editing and podcasts with guests and you're hooking up all this stuff, then I suggest a Mac. All right. How do I stop all the spam emails I get? Okay, here's another one that I don't agree with the premise, and I'll tell you why, but I can tell you how to do it too. So there's not been, in the 26 years I've been selling online, a week that went by without me seeing a spam email and saying to myself, man, that subject line's pretty good. I better check this out, or the text inside, because I have a preview window open, so I don't even have to open it to see kind of what's in it. I'd say, oh man, that's pretty good copy there. See, so if you're going to be marketing, you need to immerse yourself with marketing. You need to figure out what the heck, is going on around you, and use a swipe file, which is where you see other copy and you copy it down and swipe it and adapt it for yourself. That's perfectly ethical. So that's what I do. I don't bother. I just, I'm so lightning fast with my email and stuff. I just delete it, after, if it doesn't have anything I care about. But I'm not willing to delete all of it because I'll miss a bunch of good marketing. Even though I'm against spammers and I would, be happy to smack them around just for fun. But the thing is some of them have good copy that I didn't think of. So I just use it in a legitimate fashion. All right. But if you do want to get rid of it, there's things like, I think it's called Spam Assassin, which force people to confirm that they're real before the email gets to you. So that's the way you'll knock out 98, 99% of all spam right there on the spot. I think it costs $5, $10 a month for something like that. So that's how you would knock it all out. Is it a good idea if you're a marketer? I think you're crazy to do it. Okay, let's see. Where do I find an honest SEO person? There you go. That's another unicorn thing here. No, I don't really mean that they're all dishonest. But the thing is they most of them don't get it. They just don't get it. The fact that we're trying to make money, okay? And search engine optimization can take 6 months to even get a foothold, and a serious foothold. So you just spent a fortune for all the things that need done for SEO. And trust me, I was taught by the best of the best in the early days, Michael Campbell, and I was great at it and got lots of benefit from it for many, many years. And I'm all for that if you learn something yourself and you don't take too much time implementing it. Getting inbound links and placing your keywords properly and that kind of stuff. But the thing is, you pay for somebody to do this. It goes 6 months, and maybe you get a little traction, but you just spent a fortune and you delayed sales for 6 months. You got to count that in. How much did you lose in sales by waiting for your search engine optimization to kick in? All right, so that's probably could be $500,000 for many of you listen to this for 6 months. See if you got $1 million business. I mean, even if you have a $100,000 business, that's $50,000. All right, so half of your business. Then the other problem is that maybe you do get some traction, and then maybe Google decides to turn their dials a little bit and you disappear off the face of the earth again. So I'm not in favor of you doing this. You're better off learning paid traffic that you can turn on and turn off on a dime and get results right away. And you what we call fail fast. So if something's not working, you don't want to wait 6 months to find out. That kills all the small businesses out there. You want to know within a couple days, and then you shut that off and try something else. And when you find something that works, you put more money into that ad. We're talking about paid ads. And when you find it's not working, you shut it off instantly. See, it's going to save you all of that money just wasted away on SEO people that could never pay off for you, ever. All right. So that's my answer to that. All right. I want to start a podcast. Can it really make money? Well, yes, it can, but you can't go by the standard model that all the podcast promoters try to tell you. Here's the thing. You'll hear all the time, well, I want to get a sponsor for my podcast. Well, we love sponsorship, absolutely. But when you use the term, like, we're not talking about the Roberto Candelaria of sponsorship expert getting a big company to give you a load of money. We're a sponsorship when we talk about podcasts has a kind of a different meaning. It's somebody will pay you anywhere from like $8 to $12 per 1,000 downloads that you can prove. Well, it's hard to get 1,000 downloads. First of all, lots of people are starting podcasts. And even if you did get 300 downloads, let's say, well, that's $3 or $4 if you could even find somebody interested to be a sponsor for your podcast, see? So this traditional method can work if you have millions of listeners, and I don't have millions of listeners. It'll grow to that, I'm sure, eventually, but I don't have it now. And even if I did, I still probably would not want the little piddly amount from per 1,000 downloads. I mean, that's if you had 1 million listeners, that's going to be a much larger amount of money, but it's still never going to be as much as if you were your own sponsor or you promoted affiliate products. That's how you make money with a podcast sooner than later. So you'll notice on my podcast, I'm always a sponsor. My school, my mentor program, occasionally, I mean, I have loads of products. If you go through some of my early podcasts, sometimes I'm selling my copywriting course. Sometimes I'm selling my not automation ebook, I give that to you, but my list building course or things like that. So it only, for instance, it only takes one sale of a $27 ebook to make $27, all right? Where if you had to wait for 1,000 downloads to make $12, I mean, it's just crazy. See, you'd be a year before you got to that point, unless you just got lucky. See, so be your own sponsor, sell your own stuff, your own coaching, your own mentor programs, your own ebooks. All of this stuff will make you way more money, way faster than trying to get a sponsor to give you $8 to $12 only after you've proven yourself for a year or more. So that's my answer on yes, you can make money with podcasts. All right, next is, are long sales letters dead? Well, no sales process is dead. It's all a testing process. See, I get things all the time. Well, I hate reading those long letters. Okay, great. That doesn't work on you. But it wouldn't be there if it wasn't working on somebody. Okay. So I'm all in favor of all kinds of sales letters, video sales letters with text beneath, just text sales letters, long form, text sales letters, short form, webinar sales. So I'm happy with all of these, and none of them are dead. The only ones that should be dead for you are the ones that don't work for you and your market. See, and one might work for one of your products and promotions, and another way might work for another of your products and promotions. For instance, I have a webinar that sells my Copywriting 901 course. It's the best I've found to sell that course. People get nice webinar. They get 5 of these 31 elements that I teach, and I go in depth, so they have great value from the webinar. And then they go ahead and buy the course because it's proven to be great with that webinar. It sells much more than the sales letter that's on the homepage of the site. See? So you just have to test these things to see what works best, and don't think about, it's very common you see, well, this or that is dead, this or that is dead. That's just a ploy to get you to click. So whenever you see that, forget it. It's all a testing process with your particular promotion in front of your audience. And again, you can't depend on that the same method is good for every promotion you do. It's always a testing process. Okay, I've heard you say you made over $3 million on one free ebook. That sounds like BS. Now, that wasn't really a question. That was a nasty, that was kind of a semi-nasty, smart aleck note from somebody that, just doesn't understand. But yes, I did make $3.6 million so far on a free ebook. Well, how does that work? All right. So, and this should work for all of you out there. Maybe you won't make 3.6 million. I only did 3.6 million on one of the books. I have loads of ebooks, but none of them made 3.6 million. They made lots of money, but not 3.6 million. So the idea is that you write a book that teaches people how to do something, but they can't do it unless they have the tool that's in the book. And I think earlier I said that books should always lead to something more profitable. See, so a book is the most hassle, least profitable thing you'll ever do. It should always lead to something bigger. So I wrote this book in a 4-hour layover at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. I vividly remember doing it. And it sells my shopping cart system. That's the one that Amazon gave away 2,500 copies in 5 days. But I've just been giving it away consistently for years and years and years. And I get $600 a year from people that buy the shopping cart. Now, it's not that I have no work involved, because one of the things we do is we give you one-on-one tutoring. We are totally there to teach you how to use the tool to make the most money. That's why people have had it for 15 years or so, some of them, and never get rid of it, because if they have any trouble, they call us, we teach them how to do it, and it's 3 times cheaper than the competitors. It just does all these things that you need. So yes, I did write a book that's free, and that's the method. That's residual income, we call it, from an ebook. So it's basically an affiliate sale that pays over and over and over. That's residual or recurring affiliate programs. But it could, you just do the same thing if it's a product that you have, or a service that you have, or some other affiliate product. But that's how you do it. You write an ebook and give it away to people to teach them how to do something, but they can't get the benefits of what you just taught them unless they get the tool to do it, all right, or buy the service or whatever it happens to be. All right, so there's a bunch of questions for you. Now, I want to tell you about my mentor program. It's the longest running, most successful, most unique ever in the field of internet marketing and digital marketing. I triple dog dare people all the time to come up and match a program to mine. And in all these years, nobody has taken me up on it, because they see the list of things that my program provides. Nobody on this earth does one like this and gives you what we give you. Just a few of the major things. One-on-one training for you, unlimited for a year from me and my entire staff. Immersion weekend at the Great Internet Marketing Retreat Center, of course, after the pandemic, where with only 4 or 5 people here, you are immersed in a weekend. You shoot videos in my TV studio, and you come back for a separate trip by yourself and shoot videos. One couple came and shot 53 videos. Any one of them on the open market goes for $700 to $1,500. It was just part of my deal. You get a scholarship to my school that you can either gift or use yourself for extra training. So nobody has ever come up with a program like this, and it's been running for 1,700 plus students over 20 years. And the other super unique thing is you only pay an entry fee. You don't pay the what the program is worth up front. You only pay an entry fee, and I don't get my big money unless you make big money. So for me to get my $50,000, which is the value of the program, you have to net $200,000. Well, people just loved this and flocked to this program, and it made all the other gurus mad because they wanted to grab all the money from you up front and then leave you hanging. Well, that's why I don't have any lawsuits against me. That's why I don't have people begging for refunds and bad-mouthing me, because I'm here helping them like crazy. I mean, nobody at my level will even talk to you, let alone teach you anything. All right. So anyway, check that out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. And remember, it includes that scholarship that you can give to a loved one in your life. And it's one of the best gifts you could ever give them, because then they won't come back home and live with you because they'll be making their own money. All right, folks. Now, coming up Wednesday and Friday, we're calling it, the cheeky way to call it is Women's Empowerment Week. But if you want to throw on Sex Week, it's the only 2 episodes have ever been explicit. So don't let the kiddies listen to these ones. But it's Dr. Janet Hall is a sex expert from Australia. And like I said, it gets a little racy at times, but not too much, not over the top. But then her daughter comes on Friday and continues the thing. So they made a business out of sex, basically, without being illegal. So that's coming up Wednesday and Friday. All right, folks, I'll catch y'all on the next episode. See you later.